If you don't like the results of this list, you got nobody to blame but yourself. Hey, it's Game Rant, and here are the 10 best Steam games ranked. Number 10, Rimworld. This list is based off of Steam user reviews, and much like a Steam library, wavers from predictable and universal to head-scratching and curious. But no one should be all that surprised to see Rimworld, a Kickstarter juggernaut that has expanded into a full-fledged success story with millions upon millions of copies sold and praise from critics and fans alike since its release in 2018, netting Rimworld a 96.8% positive Steam rating with over 170,000 reviews. So what exactly is it? Well, it's a sim builder. Yeah, it's a pretty bare-bones concept, but the way with which Rimworld informs the player of the greater universe and introduces a story of isolation in the stars and creates a rather sober mood well beyond its chibi art style. Number 9, Terraria. As we all know, Terraria is just 2D Minecraft. Kidding, of course. Please don't be mad, as fans of this game will be quick to remind you that it's a game all of its own. Well, that's fine, but being compared to one of the most successful games of all time is hardly a bad thing. But yes, players will knock down parts of the world to acquire resources to build tools and expand their little nest of civilization. Terraria has a 97% positive Steam rating with over 1.2 million positive reviews, and has been a Steam staple thanks to its numerous updates since 2011, and a passionate fan base that continues playing this 2D builder as it enters its second decade. Number 8, Holo Save the Fans. So we did mention there'd be some weird entries, didn't we? The free-to-own Holo Save the Fans certainly wasn't on our radar when we started this list, as despite its 97% positive Steam rating and over 25,000 reviews, this vampire survivor-like is a strange homage to VTubers connected to the Hololive outlet. Meaning unless you're familiar with that particular brand, you'll likely be left confused to the plethora of references flashing before you. But you know what? Holo Save the Fans gameplay is so good, it has pushed it into an entirely new audience who don't know or don't care what Hololive is, declaring this game to be superior to even Vampire Survivor. Don't believe it? Well, go find out for yourself. It's free. Yeah. Number 7, Portal. There are a few games as synonymous with Steam as Portal. Following the introduction of Valve's new platform, the developers sought to create a few experiences to attract players to the rather suspicious idea of buying PC games digitally. Ugh, it'll never take off. Portal challenged players to overcome a variety of hazards with nothing more than a portal gun. Fire one place, fire to another. You've created a portal to climb through, jump through, or fall through. Few first-person games have been so revolutionary in their technology, and yet so practical and humorous in their execution. With a 97.2% positive Steam rating and over 140,000 reviews. Yep, that sure checks out, but far too many of them mention the cake is a lie. Ugh. Number 6, Hades. Supergiant Games has been a favorite among Steam players for over a decade with the likes of Prey and Bastion, but Hades just hits differently. It's more arcadey, faster, and flashier than anything Supergiant had tried before. Hades tasks players with climbing out of the depths of the underworld over and over again. But this roguelike was lush with story and characters, endearing the audience to the world and adding that extra incentive to continue. That's probably what earned it a 97.3% positive Steam rating and over 230,000 reviews. Now let's see how far Hades 2 can climb up the charts, as its early access period is off to an even stronger start. Number 5, Lethal Company. Sorry to interrupt this list, but would you be particularly interested in a job interview? Fantastic. How do you feel about dying on the job? Not good? Well, I'm sorry, then the Lethal Company might not be the career for you, friend. Developer Zeeker's brilliantly lo-fi co-op horror game seemingly came out of nowhere and raked up an impressive 97.3 positive Steam rating with over 110,000 reviews in a matter of mere months. And once you experience the unraveling world around you, complete with the creepiest, fuzziest textures and effects, you may reconsider that job opportunity. Lethal Company is always hiring new people with positive attitudes. Number 4, Stardew Valley. Reading back on the history of Stardew Valley, from its uncertain development to its humble early prototypes, it's the sort of game that was already made a dozen other times by far more qualified creators and companies. And yet, Stardew Valley is a real-life Cinderella story, which is rather meta given that Stardew Valley is a fairy tale about throwing it all away to follow your dreams of a simple life, far away from the hustle and bustle of modern living. It appears that yearning is universal, as Stardew Valley has a 97.4 positive Steam rating with over 620,000 reviews. And no signs of slowing down, as there's always a new city slicker looking for an escape. Number 3, Vampire Survivor. One aspect of PC that undoubtedly makes them better than consoles is their access to new technology. What may take an entire generation to come to PlayStation or Xbox can be on PC from the day it launches. From ray tracing to solid-state loading speeds, users choose the PC for its advanced and ever-growing resources, and then they go home and play something like Vampire Survivors. Well, it may not fit the profile, but but this overhead roguelike has a rare 97.4% positive Steam rating, with over 210,000 reviews. And we assume if the majority of players could stop playing it for more than 5 seconds, there would be even more positive reviews. But still, no vampires. Number 2, People Playground. Okay, content warning, horrible violence is on the way, so let's just say 97.5% positive Steam rating and 220,000 reviews. And if you're not a fan of the gore, you can skip ahead. That might seem a bit silly, but People Playground encourages players to use all sorts of horrible tools to destroy the human body in creative and cruel fashions. The ragdoll humans are hardly what anyone would call photorealistic, and yet it's through the realization of muscle and blood and sinew and bone on top of the animations which communicate resistance that makes this game so disturbing. Some may decry this as psychopathic, as there's no denying it is deeply unsettling, but it's meant to be. So many games center on the conflict between people and encourage the complete succession of life. People Playground, on the other hand, simply doesn't give players the convenience of being a hero. Number 1. Portal 2. Portal 2 being the best-rated Steam game is hardly a surprising fact, given that it is, in fact, the last non-VR, first-person, single-player game made by Valve since it released in 2011. For a company so synonymous with the evolution of the genre, a genre which is still feeling the aftershocks of the first few minutes of Half-Life, it's strange to see Valve seemingly have little interest beyond Counter-Strike. Portal 2 upped the comedy, added co-op and expanded the voice cast to royalty like Stephen Merchant and J.K. Simmons. A 97.7 positive Steam rating with over 350,000 reviews is hardly surprising, especially when you consider the ways the game was coupled and discounted during its early years, such as a pack-in code with the PlayStation 3 version, but no one remembers that. What is surprising, or perhaps tragic, is we may never see Valve attempting something like this again, or perhaps they're just waiting for the user reviews to switch to 100%. Just another 2.3% to go, gang! And there you have it, the 10 best Steam games ranked. Did you review any of these games on Steam? Why don't you let us know? And keep clicking around here in Game Rant, and we'll see you next time.